Welcome to Turn Writing Fear Around podcast. Simple methods to overcome fear and start writing again. I'm Elise Hittinger, and I'm the host for your journey to courage. This is episode 67. This is the gift of a nudge. How many times do we have nudges and we don't do anything about them? And what I mean by a nudge is not your horse coming up and nudging you, but intuition, spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it, God, just giving us messages and whether or not we listen to them. So I was sound asleep one night and it was so warm and comfy. It had been raining, a lot of mud, and it was the middle of the night. And I had a nudge to go check on the horses. I didn't do it. I had that nudge like a couple times. It was pretty strong. And I just snuggled back down deeper in bed and thought, it's just my silly mind making stuff up. I knew better. I've recognized nudges for my whole life. And in this case, I chose not to go check on the horses. And when I got out there the next morning, Taka was standing, exhausted, covered in mud, dripping from her head to toe. And I thought, oh my gosh, what happened? And I looked, at that time, I was feeding hay and nets. And what I would do is I'd hang the hay nets on the inside of the arena with them on the outside so that they could get to the hay on the inside. And I'd hang it low so it was at, the bottom of the fence. And there's plenty of room to reach through the fence. And what had happened is she somehow had gotten the net on the outside and gotten her foot through the net. And she had dragged the arena fence probably about 15 feet on her side. I could see that she was laying on her side, dragging the fence. She got out of it. She was standing okay. Chiropractic work and everything. No rope burns. Exterior, she was good. But that was the moment our relationship changed. And we still have a beautiful relationship, but she's more distant. She's not as trusting. She lost trust in me for not taking care of her. And I know without a doubt that nudge was her screaming for help. Come help me. And I ignored it. And yes, this is a dramatic case. But I want you to really think about, how do you recognize a nudge? I'm sure you guys have had nudges, that little bit of intuition that tells you something is good, something is bad, you need to go in a certain direction. Really think about recognizing your intuition and building it, letting it fill you up more than you ever have. And once you start recognizing your nudges, then I want you to think about what to do. Do you act on a nudge? How do you know when to act, when not to act? In that case, I absolutely should have gotten up and gone and checked on the horses. But I've also had times where I've woken up in the middle of the night thinking I need to check on the horses. And that came from my head. I was thinking I need to check on my horses. Not I was feeling I need to check on my horses. And there's a difference for me. My mind is not my intuition. My mind, it can stay silent. The feeling, that gut feeling, I had a boss that used to say, my tummy tells me. Whatever that feeling is for you, learn to recognize it and What I want you to do is when you have that feeling, whether you're right or wrong, check it out. Because the more you do that, the more you will trust it. You won't always be right, but you'll get more and more right if you're paying attention to what that gut feeling is, what your intuition is telling you. That little nudge. The more you pay attention, the more those nudges will show up. And the third thing is I want you to really start looking, feeling, and if you like journaling or tracking, track the nudges and how things turned out. Really expand on listening to your intuition, feeling things more than thinking things. This will help you tremendously with your anxiety too, because the more you realize your intuition is helping to take care of you, the less anxiety you'll have with your mind running the show. So, I'd love to offer you a hypnotherapy session if you feel like that would be something that might help you over anxiety. And what hypnotherapy does is it works with your subconscious. And that is very tied into those little nudges. Those little nudges, a lot of times, are tied into your subconscious. And a hypnotherapy session can really free up and open up your subconscious to communicate with you. So, love to hear from you. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. See you guys later.